very quickly, there have been a series of other setbacks also. How do you see the BJP's performance at about 12:15 today? If you look at the overall performance, how do you see it?
First of all, Rahul, I think if you go beyond the numbers in Gujarat, the vote share, the size of the mandate, I think it's about the trust of the people of Gujarat in Prime Minister Modi's leadership and the work the BJP has done in the state for the last 27 years. I think that is the significant message coming out of Gujarat. And if Gujarat's lesson were to be imbibed by India, and you were to take Gujarat election as a referendum on Mr. Modi's leadership, as a lot of commentators and opposition parties had tried to make it out, clearly the path for 2024 seems to be a smooth one, where the opposition will have to perhaps do a lot of thinking and come up with a credible challenge, or perhaps a challenger. Because this election was also about looking for a challenger, and it seems that they have found none. Now, coming to the overall picture that you are speaking about, let's look at Himachal Pradesh. We know that the state has the tendency to rotate power. It has done so for the last 7 decades. And despite our best efforts, it seems that the Congress might have a little edge, though the counting is still on, and it's a small state with small seats. So the numbers will eventually be finalized once all results are out. So we'll have to be patient and wait it out. If you're talking about the Delhi MCD election that were declared yesterday, we've been in power for 15 years. And despite that, and despite all exit polls writing us off, the BJP has come back very strongly. So yes, winning election is the final milestone, and we must win all elections. We fight all elections to win. But then if we do not, or if we finish second, we do take lessons from there. There are learnings from each election to be taken. And that's what we do quite seriously. And that is why you see the BJP coming back strongly in state after state where they have probably not been in power. I mean, look at Rajasthan, for example. The last time when the assembly elections happened, it was said that we were just 0.5% behind the Congress, and we could not form government because, again, Rajasthan is a state that rotates power. Perhaps this time when we come to power, we will ensure that we break this cycle and we continue to govern the state so that the process of development goes on uninterrupted. So there are these learnings, there are these efforts that we make as a political party, and we do it quite seriously. But if I can take you back to Gujarat, for example, this entire discussion about the Aam Aadmi Party, and it was the X factor, and they would probably dent the BJP. So from forming government in Gujarat, eventually commentators came down to giving them 20% plus vote share, and it seems that they have managed just about 12%. So this dichotomy, or this gap between people's understanding of what really politics was all about, it is not so much a number game as it is about aspirations, as it is about being entrenched in the society, entrenched with the people that you represent. It's far more complex play of emotions, aspirations, and of course the leadership that you provide at the local level.
Let me interrupt you, because you're talking about the invincibility of Modi's messaging, the Modi model. Now, what is it built on? Let's very quickly ask you this, because A, it's built on visible performance, demonstrated through obvious vikas, as you yourself have said, Sabka Saath. Most importantly, you have always made it about putting service before self. So dynastyism, etc., all of that doesn't come into the equation. Now, the Congress will look at it and say, well, if this message was resounding, then all those parties that are dynastic parties would today have imploded. But that hasn't happened. The Congress is still around, whether you like it or not. In Himachal Pradesh, it has stolen a march over you. Now, you can say that's a narrow victory, this, that, a victory is a victory. Number two, Samajwadi Party, that's emblematic of a certain kind of dynastism, has also managed in what has now become the Karm Bhumi of Yogi Adityanath and, of course, his electorally significant state of Uttar Pradesh. You haven't made any inroads. You haven't even been able to retain the seat that you had there in the Jat heartland. So that doesn't speak volumes about what you were suggesting. How do you explain this?
Well, first of all, political parties do not disappear overnight.
Okay.
So you're right that the Congress is still around despite 4 generations of the Nehru-Gandhi family presiding over it, but it is a much weaker force today. You speak about the Samajwadi Party, but it's not even a patch on what it was under Mulayam Singh Yadav. You look at other dynastic parties, whether it is the Telangana Rashtra Samiti, beyond the KCR family, there is just no leadership. And clearly at some point in time, and the phenomena that I call as gene pool deterioration, it kicks in. The Gandhi family is seeing that.
Let me get Mr. Moily into this conversation.
But generally world over, 3 generations
Let me get him.
later,
Okay, so you're saying that there is intrinsic strength in certain parties, and from time to time, they will leverage that strength.